we should abolish the sex registration laws in your state simply because most people who are registered do not need to be registered. They're nonviolent first offenders, and very few of these are offenders against children 13 years of age and younger. And the original concept, the idea behind the original sex registration laws was to focus on the offenders who go after the 13-year-olds and younger. But what's happened is now most sex offenders are people who are nonviolent offenders who are actually trapped in the sex registration laws. For example, a group of people who is forced to register as sex offenders are the date rape situations. The young guy goes out on a date, drunk, he pushes himself on the girlfriend. One-time incident, now he's marked for life as rape. And so you've got the date rape situation, nonviolent, one-time offenders, and most of these offenders never commit another crime. They do not need to be registered as sex offenders. Another group of people who are forced to register who don't need to be, a police woman. You've got a 35-year-old experienced woman who's experienced at enticing men to come on to her. So she's posing as a young 14, 15, 16, 17-year-old. Not a child, not a 6-year-old. I mean, there's just not a lot of fun in talking to a 6-year-old. But now you've got these young adults, 14, 15, 16, and 17 years of age, who look like they are adults, talking like they are adults, but it's really a police woman. And she's doing everything she can to get out there on the internet and entice men to come on to her. So these men a lot of times are curious, and then they're registered as sex offenders for soliciting sex to a minor, and it wasn't even a minor, it was a police officer, a professional, who knows how to entice men and entrap men. And these men are not dangers to our. Another group of people who are registered as sex offenders are the guys who's looking at pornography. Okay, you say, well, child pornography, they should go to jail. Well, most child pornography is not pictures of 6-year-old children anyway. It's pictures of 14, 15, 16, and 17 years old. These are adults. These are not children. And the way they see these pictures and they get arrested for child pornography is they're surfing the internet and these pop up on their computer. Then they're registered in their computer hard drive. And when law arrest him for child pornography, whether he knew this woman was a child or not, it's still they indict him and call him a predator, a dangerous criminal. Another group of people that are forced to register as registered sex offenders are the ones who got involved in the statutory rape. Here's a grown man, he's in his 20s, and he sees this young 17-year-old girl who's telling him she's 25, looks it, he's having sex with her, her parents find out, they file statutory rape charges on this guy. Now he's a registered sex offender for having consensual sex with a 17, 16, 15-year-old who looks like she's 21. And by the way, these so-called statutorily raped are out there begging men to come on to them. So you have another group of people who are the registered sex offenders who have been lied on. And they've been lied on about rape by women who want to destroy them, women who are living out the feminist ideology of tearing down males, women who are doing this for financial. Girls will cry rape on a guy just so she can have an abortion because some states won't let abortions take place unless you're raped. So these girls are going down and saying this guy raped me. And so rape, false allegations of actual rape. Most rape guy's out with this girl and he does take advantage of her. He does force himself on her, but there's no violence to that. And it's usually a one-time incident. And these men now are forced to be registered as sex. And they are not offenders against 13-year-old children. They're not dangers to society. Another group of people who are forced to be registered as sex offenders, stepdaddies who keep their daughters. It's called unlawful restraint. It's a degree under kidnapping. When a stepdaddy says, you're not going out to that party and stand all night and horn around. You're staying in your bedroom. And if you physically grab her and hold her there, that is unlawful restraint. It's considered a form of kidnapping of a minor. And there's registration laws for unlawful restraint of a minor. Or if you grab one in a fight, that could be considered unlawful restraint of a minor, and you can become a registered sex offender. Another group of people who are forced to register as sex offenders are people who picked up a prostitute. So you've got some policewoman out here, she looks real nice, inviting men to come on to her as a hooker. The guy comes in, takes the bait, there she snags him. Registered sex offender. Do you see the seriousness of this? In other words, these men, there's millions of people now registered as these sex offenders, and they're denied push them into committing violence against the government. These men are going to give up. They're going to start walking prosecutors, lawmakers, judges, and then killing themselves. And it's all because to doing these kind of things. Send this video to your state representative, to your state senator. Ask him to to change the sex registration laws in your state.